Hi, I'm Chad with Move Forward Guitar. This lesson is from our series CAGED Theory. In this lesson, I'm going to explain how you can use the CAGED system to find minor triads. First off, if you like all the diagrams for this series, including the diagrams for this lesson, you can download our free e-guide, CAGED Theory. But I am working on it as I'm filming this lesson, so it might not be available as you're watching this lesson. If it is available, a link will pop up on the screen that'll allow you to download it. And like I said, it's free, so there's no reason not to download it when it is available. This is part 6 from our series CAGED Theory. If you'd like to go back and start at the beginning, you can click the link on the screen. So in the last lesson we looked at how you can find major triads up and down the fretboard using the CAGED system. Now we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to look at how to find minor triads. And again, we're looking at close position triads like we did with the major triads, which means that all the intervals are as close together as possible, which if you don't understand any of this, go back and watch the first 2 sections of our series Music Theory for Guitar. I explain all of this. And again, like with the major, what I'm showing you isn't going to show you every minor triad. It's not going to show you all the lower register ones, but those aren't usually as important because they can be pretty muddy in most playing situations. And even so, even if you want to use those or need to use those, this gives you the majority of them, and it really helps you visualize the majority of them quickly. So just like with the major, we're going to start with the C and go through the A, G, E, and D, but this time it'll be minor. We're going to go through all those shapes. So we're going to start with the C minor shape, and within this C minor shape, you can probably already see if you went through the last lesson, you have a minor triad right there, which is root position, and you have a minor triad right here, which is first inversion. So in this C minor shape, you have 2 minor triads living within it that you can visualize and quickly grab. The next shape is A minor. So within this A minor shape, you have a triad right here, which is second inversion. And you have a triad right here, which is root position. So within this A minor shape, you have a triad here and a triad here. So now we're on to the G minor shape. You can probably already see that right here is a root position triad. And right here is a first inversion triad. So within this G minor shape, you have one right here and one right here. Now we're on to the E minor shape. If you start right here, you get a second inversion minor triad. Right here is a root position. And right here is a first inversion. So within this E minor shape, you have one right here, one right here, and one right here. Now we're on to the last shape, the D minor shape, and just like the major shape, you only have one triad in it, and it's right here, one close position triad, and that's a second inversion. So now if we visualize C minor up and down the whole fretboard using CAGED shapes, you have the C minor in open position here, you have the A minor shape here, G minor shape right here, E minor shape here, and D minor shape here, and then again the C minor up the fretboard an octave higher than the open position. So within the C minor you have 2 triads that you can grab and visualize. Within the A minor, you have 2 as well. Within the G minor, you have 2 as well. Within the E minor, you have 3. You have one here, here, and here. And in the D minor, you just have 1. And unlike the CAGED, none of these share perfectly with each other like in the other one, the C major and the D major shared the exact same triad for one of them. But with the minor, it doesn't work out like that. It shares notes, of course, but not full triads. So now again, you can take the CAGED system, and by visualizing the CAGED shapes, you can find most of the minor triads, just like you could find most of the major triads. Now you have a reference for them, and not just having to memorize shapes up and down randomly on the fretboard, which makes it a lot harder. This is a way easier way to actually sequence out your fretboard. And again, don't worry if you don't understand the use of triads in practical situations. I'm going to show you that in upcoming lessons, so move on to those. First, I would just wanted to point out how you would actually find them visualizing the CAGED shapes. So that's how you can use the CAGED system to find minor triads up and down the fretboard. Go ahead and move on to the next lesson where I'm going to show you how you can actually use the CAGED system to accompany other musicians. We're going to talk about how you can use the triads within the CAGED system to accompany other musicians. And be sure to download the e-guide. All the diagrams are in there. And be sure to subscribe because we had at least one new lesson every day.